Thank you so much for speaking with me again today, Lee. I know we
Hey,
talked.
Shannon, how are you?
Good. I'm really excited to talk to you today because I actually, when I first spoke with you, we talked more about like the overall of the film. And I kind of want to dive into more of like the details I picked up on. And
Mhm.
so my first question for you, and I kind of brought it up when I saw you at the press day, is I want to talk about the sarcophagus. I think that's one of the most unique elements of the film. So if you could talk a little bit about the design and how you came up with the look, that'd be great.
Of course. First and foremost, I'm in my office at home, which I've just moved into a new house. It's not set up properly yet, but also the sarcophagus is sitting in the hallway of my house.
Oh
I
my
had to I had to keep it. My plan is to turn it into a single guest bed, like in a spooky themed room that someone can go in and just get into the sarcophagus and sleep for a night.
I love
So
it.
yeah, it's sitting in my hallway, very much in the way, but I will find a home for it. Um, the design came from there's a couple of different things, and I'll try and keep it kind of quick, but a couple of like random thoughts that we had. One of the things we touched on was Last Crusade, and the actual cup and it not being the ostentatious thing, and that it's the simple carpenter's cup in a way, not the thing you'd expect to pick. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about your typical gilded sarcophagus, the gold, and the paintings and all of that stuff, which was never made to draw people in, because I guess people that were buried at that time didn't think they'd be dug up and put in museums. Um, and a little bit also, the obelisk in 2001: A Space Odyssey was something myself and my production designer talked about. And if you look at it, there's a little kick of it just having the ever so slight feeling of like a cobra snake as well, just the shape of it at the top. But I knew I wanted it to be simple and somewhat basic, because the idea was, and also just a little stark and unsettling, that you wouldn't want to approach it and you wouldn't necessarily feel like it's full of treasures. In fact, maybe we'll leave that one alone. And that was kind of the idea. But without putting spikes on it or painting crazy snake, there's no markings. What matters is the markings inside the sarcophagus that are there to try and keep the evil trapped. That was the key.
That's yeah. And okay, this is this is so random. And I was rewatching it the other day. I was showing it to my husband, and we both were like, "Why is there a Babe poster?" Because it seems very specific. And I tried asking James Wan, and he's like, "I have no idea." So I thought I would ask you if that was intentional.
Yeah, it's not unintentional. So what it came from was the color. There was again, we came at it from a couple of angles, and great art department team people. I didn't go to someone and say I got to have a Babe poster up. Sometimes like look, no, but if you look in like Seb's room, I made some really specific choices about the musician on the wall. Car, I made really specific choices. You can't really see this in the shadows. There's a Nightmare on Elm Street poster in there. There's a Critters poster. Um, Kid Cudi is a big fan of my last movie, and I've become friends. And so there's some great Kid Cudi artwork on the walls. There's some really specific stuff. But the Babe thing came. I said I wanted something pink, and I wanted something older than Katie, because it was also a bedroom that would have been Larissa's, because Larissa talks about that it was her room when she was a kid too. So that's kind of where that came from. And then also when they proposed that, I was like, it's so sweet and so lovely. I have to feature it in a shot. It's such kind of an oddity. It's such a weird moment. So it kind of came from the idea of there being a layer of history there before even it was Katie's bedroom as a kid, and went back further. Plus, I wanted this bedroom to be very sweet, like you're inside a candy full of lots of different tones of pink. And then we pull all of that pink away throughout the movie, and we start to bring in this more decrepit and rotting and urine color and all of that stuff into the lighting and into the wallpaper. So the Babe thing was a slam dunk as soon as it was presented to me.
I love that. I have the simplicity of the sarcophagus, and then like this like amazing Babe like reasoning for bringing that in. Thank you so much. Those were like two questions I was dying to ask, and
No problem at all.
I can't wait to share this because I'm sure other people were curious. So thank
Awesome.
you. Congratulations on everything, and hopefully we'll talk again in the future.
Lovely to speak to you again, Shannon. You take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you for watching, and thank you to our sponsors and Patreon producers for making this video possible. Hit the subscribe button so the creepy fun never has to end. This is Hannah reminding you to keep it creepy.